All right, guys, so this is going to be our first video. This is Kingdom Reptiles. We want to honor God first and foremost, because if we put God first, everything else will be added onto us, like the Bible says. So we're going to give you guys a scripture in Proverbs 12:10. A righteous man cares for the life of his animals, but even the most compassionate acts of the wicked are cruel. So I just want to give that to you guys, that every animal, even us, we are created in the image and the likeness of God. So we're going to go through what our names are. And then my wife is in the background. She's helping film the video. Her name is Tiffany. So just in case we forget. And then we're going to say our names here in a second. Educate you guys about the background, about different type of animals and stuff like that. So we're going to start off with saying our names. My name is Angelo.
Raymond. Xavier.
Xavier is 11. Raymond is what?
9.
So this is not our first time owning reptiles. We had reptiles in the past when they were way younger. They didn't know a lot about the background of reptiles. I did a lot of research myself because I started off with a red ear slider turtle. That's what I started off with. And then the turtle started getting sick and I let it go back in the wild, which I should have never had done it. I should have done research before I got the red ear slider. So yeah, you need heat lamps and UVB and stuff like that so they don't get shell rot. We gave you guys our names. We're gonna talk about the bearded dragon, and then we might have some projects coming up in the future which we want to get into and just get into the space and have fun with it. We're going to give you guys the background of what they eat, what type of enclosure you should get. There's different type of enclosures that you can get for beardies and different type of reptiles. We're not going to be a channel just for beardies, but we're going to educate you guys when we do videos and stuff like that. So the bearded dragon, the scientific name is a pogana. I think that's how you pronounce it. They're either from, I think it's Austria or Australia. I think that's how you pronounce it. Oh, it's Australia. My bad. It's right here. It's Australia. The lifespan of a beardie in the wild is 10 to 15 years. And in captivity, it is 20 years, depending how good you feed them and depending how well you take care of your animals. So a lot of people just buy them and they don't do the research and they throw them in a tank and they expect them to live. No, there's other things that you need, which we'll talk about here in a second. The diet of a bearded dragon is mainly consisting of, a lot of people feed mealworms, which I never really got into mealworms. I did a lot of dubia roaches. Some people call them kingworms. We call them hornworms. I do crickets as their babies. I had plenty in the past where I fed them crickets being babies because they're smaller. The hornworms, they kind of start off a decent size. It's kind of hard to get small ones. Vegetation would be definitely, I would say, mustard greens because they're a lot more healthy. Some people do lettuce, but I've always done mustard greens. So we're gonna get into the actual enclosure of a bearded dragon. You usually want to do a pretty nice size. I say 60 maybe to 80 gallons, maybe bigger than that. Maybe just build your own enclosure. Also too, I think this one's about a 60. The one I had on the bottom, the one we got from my mother-in-law, because she had a bearded dragon, but it passed away. I think they started off with this little smaller one at the bottom. We'll start from top to bottom. So everything that's starting from the bottom all the way to the top, and lights and stuff like that. So from the bottom, the substrate, it is a cocoa husk, I believe. It is kind of dry, but we do keep water inside of it to keep the humidity kind of high. We do have a couple things in here. For instance, this one's still a baby. I don't know if you can see him in here. You guys will see the video, of course, of the baby beardie in the beginning. So we do keep 2 water bowls, which I only recently did that to help with the humidity. We have 2 water bowls in here. We have the hammock. We have the rock structure so you can get up and bask on. We don't have the basking light on right now, the heat lamp on right now. We just have the UVB, and then we added this. So this actually, the Zoom Ed, was given to us by a friend of mine named Joe for Frey Frey. He gifted it to him. So this is Frey Frey and Xavier's bearded dragon, but Frey Frey really wanted the bearded dragon. Huh, Frey Frey?
Yeah.
So he's super excited to have this bearded dragon right here. Like I said, I had some in the past. I had like 4 of them at one point. I had 2 of them. I think it was 2 of them that died, and then one of them that I bought from the store, and he died because they didn't take care of him. So he ended up passing away. Kind of sucked, but I really like that morph that I got. I think this Charlie, his name is Charlie. I think he's like 2 months old, I think. He has to be like about 2 months old. He's not even that big. He has this huge enclosure. Like I said, he came from this bottom one down here. I think it's like a 10. I think it's like a 10 gallon, to be honest. I think this is like a 60. Like I said, we have the cocoa husk on the bottom. We have the two water things right here off to the side. We threw some extra decoration in there for the little skeleton. Right here, you guys can't really see it, but it's right here off to the left. Then we have this little parrot thing that goes in a bird cage. We just kind of threw that in there because it was kind of cheap. And at first I didn't have this driftwood. I didn't have the driftwood at first. You know, I was being kind of cheap. And I decided to buy it so you can bask on the smaller one, and it was able to do that. And then we went to go pick up this one for my friend Joe. He already had these two bowls. He already had the rock and the dinosaur head and the hammock and the thermostat thing on the back. So the only thing that we bought was the driftwood, the parrot thing, and replaced the heat light because the UVBs last pretty long. But yeah, that's pretty much the setup for the Beardy. We have water and stuff in there right now. We don't like keeping food inside the tank. It kind of keeps it a lot cleaner. All you got to do is kind of really pick up the poop. We don't want the what is it, the worms and stuff like that digging in the soil and dying in there, and we can't find them and it starts to stink and stuff like that. We want to keep it as clean as possible. So we do not feed them in here. We actually take them out and feed them either by hand, or we put them in a little container that we have down here for the crickets, or we just feed them on the top of the table. So this right here, he gets on there and basks on that little rock thing. He can come over here too if we move the light. If you guys do your research, these bearded dragons do need UVB and heat to help digest their food, just like any other reptile. It helps give them their vitamins also too. So you're definitely gonna need a decent sized tank. This one is by Zoomed. These right here, I believe, are by Zoomed too. These light fixtures. That one's 100 watt. I don't remember what that one is. I forgot to ask my friend Joe. And like I said, we haven't been in the space for reptiles in a while, but I know you need at least a T5 for the UVB, which is a longer one. Planning on getting here pretty soon. I didn't want to spend a lot of money all at once. On the Beardy, I bought him off a line. They were shipped to the house, which is super exciting. I think it's a lot more exciting than kind of seeing it in person. Which seeing it in person is a lot more safer too, because your animal is, you know, going to be alive. The possibilities of your animal dying during shipping is a little bit higher because of the, you know, the humidity and the heat and the coldness and stuff like that. So yeah, we have a 100 watt light in that one right there. And then I don't remember what the UVB is, but we do have UVB. Sometimes we'll just turn off the heat and they give them UVB. If you want to get technical, if the bearded dragon only had a few hours of heat, like 6 hours of heat, should be fine. I've done it before. I've had my first bearded dragon at one point didn't have no lights, no heat, no UVB, lived for months. But he was a little bit older and I would feed him a lot better. Got all the nutrients from like hornworms and mustard greens and stuff like that. So, which was unfortunate that my animal was in that situation, but we were going through some living situations. So, but other than that, the bearded dragon is pretty easy to take care of. You definitely got to do your research on bearded dragons before you buy them. I think that we should get into some information that I think Xavier kind of like has. So you want to tell people little fun facts?
So, fun fact number 1, if your bearded dragon's bobbing its head, that means that he's claiming his territory. Fact number 2, when he's raising his hand, he's technically saying hi to you. So if you feel comfortable, you can say hi to him back.
Those are 2 fun facts. You got a fun fact for free? Tell me your fun fact.
Honestly, all about today.
Did you meet some bearded dragons on your field trip today?
Yeah.
What do they look like? What kind of morph were they?
So I saw a leatherback. I know, like, one was a female and one was a male.
And that's all you seen?
And
But what other reptiles did you see?
so I saw a really giant snake at the thing.
What kind of snake was it?
It was a python.
Well, python. It was pretty decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we do like fish, but we don't have room for fish and stuff like that. But he did go to a aquarium, huh? Yeah. So he went to an aquarium today on his field trip. He's seen some bearded dragons, and some turtles. What kind of, like, red ear sliders?
Just like regular turtles, and we saw I saw some really giant eel and fish.
So yeah, that's what he's seen on his field trip today. Yeah, that's other than that, that's pretty much it for the bearded dragon. You do want to put calcium on their crickets if they're babies like this. It just helps them, you know, stay healthy and stuff like that. Another thing too, if you have a local reptile store around you, you don't want to clip the bearded dragon's nails yourself. You could take them over there to get a lot of the feeders and stuff like that. You can see them in the back moving around. We'll probably zoom into it, but when you get the feeders and stuff like that, look for your local reptile store. They have hornworms, they have mealworms, they have waxworms, they have crickets to feed your animal. They're not super expensive. If you want to build your own dubia colony too, which we're probably going to do, and we're going to do that in the backyard just to kind of keep it, you know, more sanitary, and we can clean it in the back. It'll be a lot more easier. So, but yeah, that's something we have in the future, to build a kind of like a project so we can feed this animal. It'd be cheaper to feed them in the long run. So we're gonna go to the Sacramento, what is it, the Reptile Expo. Is that what it's called? We're gonna go to the reptile show in Sacramento at the end of this month. The beginning of, or the middle of last month, on March 22nd and 23rd, we did go to the one here in Stockton, which they never really had the ones here in Stockton. I guess they started recently doing this a few years back, so we went to that one. There weren't a lot of bearded dragons over there. We were looking for one because we didn't have one at the time. There was only one big one, huh? So yeah, so we only had a few at that show, which we were looking for one, and then I finally found one online and I ordered it online. But we went to this reptile show. We're gonna be going to those too, so you guys stay tuned for videos like that. We're gonna show you guys all the reptiles and stuff like that, and some possible things we might get into in the future when we get bigger space. So just to kind of have fun with it, you know, it's fun having animals, right, for free?
Yeah.
So it's something he wants to get into, and I've always been into it. And then Xavier has to get over his fear of snakes. So, but yeah, I used to fear snakes too. Now I don't. So other than that, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys want to see anything else that has to deal with reptiles that we can have in this space, something a little bit smaller, but we do plan on starting one project, is getting a ball python, some breeding pairs to go going, because we want to be able to fund stuff like this and have space and, you know, do crazy things and enjoy things when we do it. Yeah, he's right there just chilling. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. Till the next one, peace. You want to say peace, mama?